It is 25 degrees this morning, which isn't really that big of a deal, I guess, except it said that it was going to get to about 22 degrees last night. So I turned the coop heater on, and it gradually went up, and it was great. And then this morning I get up, and I look, and it says it's 40 degrees inside the coop. That's a pretty big difference between what it is outside and what it is in the coop. So I stepped outside and unplugged that, which of course unplugged the heater. And in the time between then and now, it dropped to about 35 degrees in the coop. I'm trying to avoid a shock, going from 40 degrees to, 22 degrees outside. And although this says it's 6 now, it feels closer to 20. What I did was I unplugged this first before plugging that in. Because the last time I had that unplugged and then plugged it back in without dealing with this first, I blew the heater out and I had to get a new one. So I unplugged this, and now I'm going to let them out in just a moment. I removed this to kind of acclimate a little bit. I also gave them the rest of their fermented feed from yesterday that they didn't finish. They ate most of it and then rushed indoors. It's just about time to let them out. I'm sure the coop is getting colder now. Are you almost done with it? You're like, this is different. It's big enough for them to be in there to sleep and maybe hang out for a short time. Or if there was an emergency, or if I had to separate one of them. It's 4 feet by 4 feet. And then, of course, it's bigger if you add the nesting boxes, but they're not open. So it's not really ideal to just leave them in here. But they are nice and distracted right now with the food. But they're started to pick on the cardboard that I have on the ceiling. I can hear them doing it now. Right up there. Look at her. See? And she just ate it. Ah, boy. Cardboard is not food. You guys ready to come out? Yes, because you're eating the coop. It's open. There we go. Now they see it. They're going to go down there, but there's no food out yet. And there's no water. All right, I'm just going to drop that down and go fix their run. Well, that was not very smooth. I will never do that again. No matter what. Do not open this door in the morning without first having the food and water in there. Because I had it open, and of course they went out. It makes sense. But I couldn't get two of them to come back in. And I do the chirp chirp, and they're like, yeah, okay, but we're out. Yes, but your food is here. So I got them in. The lady at the feed store told me to start blending in these pellets with what I have now, which is not pellets. It just turns to this, mush. And so I decided to introduce it to them. I have about another 2 weeks of this stuff left, this mash, and a new bag of that. So I put a little bit around the base, as you can see. And then I just opened up the container, and I don't think I'm going to have a problem getting them used to this. They are really liking these pellets. I've heard a lot of people say that they can't get their chickens to eat pellets or they waste them. I can't speak to waste yet, but I know they waste this stuff because they just toss it out. Look at her. She's like finding it. She's like, oh, see how she's grabbing the pellets and this stuff just comes flying out. And, you know, it's not quite that mashed up when you first get it, but by the time it gets down here and they're pecking it around, it just turns into this mush. Anyway, so this is going to be their new layer feed. They're not ready to lay yet, but they're 14 weeks old now, and by the time I'm finished with the other product, it will be 16 weeks. And in theory, some of them could start laying then. I kind of doubt it, just because it'll be January. But see how she's picking them out. Okay, this is not going to be a problem. They are not going to argue about this new feed. And I've already started turning it into, I've already started fermenting it and giving it to them. And at first I didn't think they liked it. But it actually smells, how would you say, almost like it's seasoned. Not pepper, but you know, that type of seasoning. I don't know. I'd have to look at the ingredients, but it almost smells like people could eat it. We probably could, but I don't think I would want to. Thank you very much. What's happening? Oh. By the time I'm done out here, I'll probably turn this light off because it's not feeling as cold out here as it was initially, and I don't have gloves on. And so, yeah, hi, sweetie. It's like, what are you going to give me? I gave you this entire tub right here. I'm not leaving this in here. Don't be silly. Okay, I'm going to let them out into the kennel. Let's see, all I do is pull this down and latch it there, and away they go. There. When they're in there, I'm actually going to shut it again. If I can shut them in there, it gives me an opportunity to come in here, rake things if I want, put the food back down. There we go. Okay. I put a little straw in there. Look at them. I put a pile of straw, and now they are just digging all over. So I just put a cover-up product on Spitfire. I was looking at all of them, and she had 2 red spots on her comb. So I don't know if she ran into something or one of the other chicks pecked at her, but the product I put on there is a type of lotion that's purple, so it covers up the red. So hopefully if somebody was pecking on her, they won't anymore. I don't know if I can get a good shot. It's actually on the other side of her. She wasn't excited about me doing it. It was easier than I thought it was going to be, but it's because I was actually kneeling on the ground. I never actually picked her up. You know what I mean? I just sort of hugged her. Let's see. No. She's not going to let me get close. If she thinks I have something, she will. It just looks like 2 little purple dots now, which I guess is far enough away from red, so you can't even see them. So they're so little. No, you're not going inside the house. They're very fascinated about the glass.